NFL is a month away, so it's time to talk futures. Is there anything that you see on the horizons that you like? Division, Super Bowl winner, yards?
Listen, we're going to do our full-blown gambling show, late August. And it really, if you're new to the pod this year, or, in the last few months, football's when we really cook. We got our gambling shows. We got a lot. DeMonze is dialed. I'm still, by the way, Connor and Paul are friends with the volume and with DraftKings. If we could send DraftKings this official on the record plea, by the way, I'm putting this out there. This is what we would call a value add. I don't want a single extra dollar in our wonderful partnership with DraftKings. Not what I'm looking for. But if we could, in addition to in football season, when, I'll give you my 5 plays of the week, if we could also have a bonus thing and maybe even create a cool little graphic like we have for mine, 1 teaser a week. We have to come up with a snappy name for it. But if people don't know, DeMonze last year, I think, hit like 7 in a row. He's turned into a bit of a teaser expert. If we could have somewhere, I don't care if it's buried. I don't care if you have to click 17 different links to get to it. Somewhere on there, DeMonze's NFL teaser of the week, it would really be a special moment for this podcast.
Yes.
All that's coming. Go ahead.
I mean, that'd be like one of my greatest achievements outside of hitting 73s in a row. That one time in 2017.
Oh, yeah. we did. That's a sidebar. We can get to that in a minute. But it would be great, and it would also be awesome for some of DeMonze's high school and college buddies who are regular DraftKings users, for them to be scrolling and to see the DeMonze teaser. It would really, it would be awesome, and so we're pulling
over
for that.
The moon.
In the meantime, there is one bet that I think the odds are going to shift, because I think this team is going to become a popular sleeper pick. And I have no loyalty, if you will, when it comes to gambling. Now, I obviously will. There are certain things I won't do. Like, I won't bet against the Chiefs. But it doesn't mean I bet on the Chiefs every time. A couple years ago, I told you guys one of my favorite preseason win totals was the Broncos over 5.5 wins. I can't stand the Broncos. And by the way, I think they're one of the most overrated teams in the league this year. It actually kind of plays into why I like this bet. But I thought that they were great value over 5.5 wins. They ended up winning, I think, 8 games. The 6th longest odds of any team to make the playoffs. Far worse odds than the Panthers. Better odds than only the Titans, the Jets, the Giants, the Saints, and the Browns. Are a team that I believe is going to make the playoffs. And I believe these odds are going to, between now and the start of the year, drop from plus 330 to like plus 290. And that is the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders, going from a head coach in Antonio Pierce that was just out of his depth to Pete Carroll. Going from maybe the worst quarterback situation in the league to Geno Smith. With Brock Bowers in year 2 and Ashton Genty in year 1 and Carroll coaching up that secondary and a last place schedule that includes games against. This is not just all strength of schedule games, but on the Raiders schedule are the Patriots, the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, I skipped over a couple. Ones that Bears. I won't necessarily think are easy, but you guys might. The Bears, the Jags,
Colts,
the Texans late in the year, a team that I worry about a bit. 4 games against maybe the slightly overrated Chargers, and the considerably overrated Broncos. Did I mention the Colts game in there? They have on their entire schedule, aside from the Chiefs game. They play the Cowboys. Like, here's the Raiders' schedule. Patriots, Chargers, Commanders, Bears, Colts, Titans, Chiefs, Jags, Broncos, Cowboys, Browns, Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Texans, Giants, Chiefs. They have 3 monster games, Chiefs and Eagles, 5 simple games, in my opinion, and then 9 we'll see games. That team absolutely can get to 9 or 10 wins and sneak into the playoffs. And
if the Chiefs are in a good state at that time of the year, it could be a free game for them.
Well, that's the other thing. If you are in the AFC West, you always hope that one of your 2 Chiefs games is that Week 17 Chiefs game, because about half the time the Chiefs are resting people that week. Half the time they got to go for it. Like, it could be bad, where, oh man, the Chiefs need this game for, playoff positioning. But about half the time they have everything locked.
Well, the Raiders play the Chiefs pretty well anyways, too, I feel like. They hang around
sometimes, yeah. Oh. Yeah, and they beat them on Christmas 2 years ago. So the Raiders, plus 330 to make the playoffs. That is my early first NFL season-long bet.
Lions are confident that this is the year that they get over the hump, with David Montgomery calling it their year of reckoning. How do you see this season going for Detroit?
I'd be a little nervous, Demonze. Listen, I think they have too much talent to be bad. But here are the, to me, ominous signs, so to speak. First one is one that always matters. Lost both coordinators. Like, that is one that during a season when a team is struggling, we're like, oh, change coordinators. But we don't do a good enough job in the offseason of, reminding folks. Lost Aaron Glenn, lost Ben Johnson. So that, to me, is first concern. Second concern, their center retired. They lost their best guard in free agency. So it looks like they're going to slide their worst offensive lineman, who was their right guard last year, whatever guard Zeitler wasn't, over to center, and then be starting a second-year 6th-round pick and probably a rookie 2nd-round pick at their 2 guard spots. So where offensive line has been maybe their single biggest position of strength as of, in this Jared Goff, Dan Campbell era, now that interior of the offensive line might be the biggest weakness of the team. And nothing makes Jared Goff go from, man, Jared Goff has been really good, to pumpkin mode, like up the middle pressure, because he just doesn't have the athleticism to escape or be creative. If it's on time and it's what it's supposed to see, he's really good. But if you can get pressure on him up the middle, it can be really deadly for him. And so that's a concern. The tougher division this year, to me, and I shouldn't say tougher, because last year it was really good. The Vikings were excellent. Packers were good. But another tough division, that's concerning. And here's the other piece, Demonze, for a team last year that was 15-2. Here's their opening 7 games, which is before their bye. At the Packers, home for the Bears, Ben Johnson, at the Ravens, home for the Browns layup, at Cincy, at the Chiefs, home for the Bucks. Man, and by the way, it's just a schedule that you never can take a breath. Like, there's their first 7, then a bye week, then home for Tampa, home for the Vikings, at the Commanders, at the Eagles, home for the Giants, okay, home for the Packers, home for the Cowboys, at the Rams, home for the Steelers, okay, at the Vikings, at the Bears. And so could I see the Lions going from 15-2 and the 1 seed to 10-7 in a wild card? Absolutely. And so I think they're good. I think they're talented. Gibbs is a star. Having Hutchinson back will be great. But I think the Lions losing both coordinators, the loss of the offensive lineman that they've had, I still feel like I'm not as big on Jameson Williams as maybe others are. I wonder how that horrific playoff game has sat with Goff all offseason. I wonder how back-to-back years of just gut punch postseason losses, has sat with them. All of that is concerning to me. And in that loss last year we had a graphic on the TV show yesterday of number 1 seeds the last decade to lose their first home playoff game. And it was the Cowboys, Dak's rookie year, the Ravens, Lamar's first year as a full-time starter, the Titans with Tannehill, and the Packers with Aaron Rodgers in that his second to last year there in the crazy 13-10 game or whatever in the snow against San Francisco. So, by the way, 3 of those teams the next year missed the playoffs. The Ravens made the playoffs and lost in the divisional round. So you have a 17-point lead in the conference championship game. You blow it. You come back the next year. You're even better. You're the 1 seed. And a rookie quarterback comes to your stadium and waxes you. And your quarterback plays his worst game in a couple years. That's all ominous, if you ask me, for the Lions. Do you think that's fair? I know you thought I'm a little too low on the Lions historically.
Oh, well, no, I do think that, you said they lost their interior lineman, but just Jared Goff as well. I thought it's I don't want to say ominous, but a limitation to winning the Super Bowl. That's what it sounds like they're talking about. And you need to see him, win that playoff game, or do that was a rookie that you got that done to by, but yeah. And
Washington
they were
outclassed them that game.
And
that was the Lions. Now the Lions defense was
banged
devastated by injury, and we know that. But I also am a little worried what version of Aiden Hutchinson we're going to see, at least at the beginning of the year. So I think all that's fair.